Mixed martial arts is a $7 billion business, but just until a few years ago, there was no league that amateurs could be involved with to really prepare for the pros. That was until the creator of the Elite Amateur Fight League, Jesse Nunez, got involved. Jesse, how you doing? Welcome to the program.
Doing real good. Thanks for having me.
I'm going to shake your hand. You're an intimidating guy to sit next to. A Marine, of course, former Marine veteran, and you started this league because really before you started the league, amateurs were playing and it was regulated, but there weren't big crowds. There wasn't really much of a scene going on. Tell us about why you started it and where you go from here.
Sure. So we started the league because the local fight scene in just about every area has a really good group of talented fighters, but they were competing in front of 200 or 300 people, and no one really knew what happened. After they beat those top two guys in that area, they really had no one left to fight. And that is really what stemmed the idea of the Elite Amateur Fight League. So what we did is we found a hole in a multi-billion-dollar industry. And it's the only major sport in our country that didn't have a national level of amateur competition. So we decided to create it. And now what we have is a state versus state, team versus team, national amateur tournament. So think the NCAA basketball tournament, and then apply that to the format of mixed martial arts. We give the best amateur fighters from across the country a single platform to compete on. They get the travel, and they get the exposure of an NCAA athlete.
For those viewers that are watching this saying, I don't even know really what MMA is, that's not a huge shock because it's a rather new thing. But, man, you say a $7 billion industry, it is growing exponentially in popularity.
Absolutely. It's the fastest growing sport in the world. And like I said, in our country, it's the one major sport that didn't have that national level of competition. And it's hard to miss now. It's on ESPN. Yeah. It's been on Fox. It's really, I think, the best combat sport you can watch on television today.
You mentioned combat sport. You know, there's a lot of people out there that might say it's just too violent, or, you know, it's bloody, it's gory. Talk a little bit about that. I mean, this is a sport that these athletes take very seriously, and they really are true athletes.
These are the most amazing athletes I've ever seen. I grew up boxing here in the city of Chicago, and I thought I was kind of tough growing up, but looking at how these kids train today, they wake up in the morning, they go to jiu-jitsu class, then they go to work, then they come back for boxing, and they come back for wrestling. And these kids are truly well-rounded athletes that have grown up in this sport that it's completely evolved. You're just not a wrestler, you're just not a boxer, you're a mixed martial artist. And they really come from it at a place of respect for each other. They all know what it takes to compete in this sport. And granted, they got to go out and do their job, but at the end of the day, it's all respect.
I mentioned that you're a Marine. I never know what to say. Former Marine, they said, oh, now
always a Marine.
Always a Marine.
Yeah.
So as a Marine, but a lot of other veterans are running this program as well. Is it just that you guys are kindred spirits together, or are you looking for other veterans to help you run this organization?
Right. Well, I knew I wanted to build a national MMA league. I knew I needed a strong team. And I thought, well, who better to work with than other veterans? Right off the bat, I know they're going to be mission-oriented. We're going to be like-minded. They're going to understand my leadership style. We don't always get along, but we all get the job done. You know, so finding other military vets to build this team was a huge goal of mine, and I was able to do it. We've got former Army veterans, former Marine Corps veterans, a Navy corpsman, all in our group, and I think the success of our league really attributes to that team that we built.
All right, so you're just wrapping up your third season. What's to expect coming forward here?
Oh man, we're excited. So we're growing to from 8 teams to 10 to 12 teams, but
in this area or across the country?
Across the country.
Okay.
So we have teams from coast to coast. 2 teams out of northern and southern California both have a team. New Mexico, Arizona, Florida, Virginia, and in the Midwest we have Indiana and Illinois. We just had our national championship from season 3 here in the city of Chicago, where we flew Team Arizona in, and they won the season 3 national championship.
Arizona won?
Arizona won.
Come on, Illinois. Let's get it together.
Illinois, they were very impressive. They beat. First, they beat Indiana, our neighbors, just to the east here. Then they beat a team out of Virginia that was very tough to make it to the national championship.
Great. All right, so how can people get involved in this?
Well, to get involved is real simple. If you're a fan, go to our Facebook page. You'll get all the information about our future air dates on NBC Sports Chicago. You'll get all the information about our next live shows, and you'll get just a great understanding of what we do. If you're a fighter and you want to compete in our league, our best advice is to stay active in your local scene, fight on the local promotions, win fights, and we're going to find you. But if you're in a rural, out of touch area, you can apply on our website by clicking the fighter application tab.
Could you make me an MMA Mixed martial artist? No.
No.
Ah, what? You couldn't even be nice about it? You could have just thrown me a bone. Wow. Okay, thanks so much, Jesse. No, always a pleasure. Really
Thank you.
appreciate it for stopping by. And to learn more about the Elite Amateur Fight League and to get a schedule of when the fights air, head over to their website, eliteamateurfightleague.com, or you can find them on Facebook.